So on Friday we did about half the section, and I gave you some problems, but you didn't have to do them over the weekend. We should have time when we're done today for you to work on them and get them done. But picking up, we are on problem 56, and these ones say to add or subtract as indicated. So basically, we just need to make sure things have a common denominator so that we can add them together. Clearly, we've been dealing with fractions. So 56, we've got 3 over z plus x over z squared. And I need to add these things together. So I need a common denominator to do that. I have a z on the bottom of this one, a z squared on the bottom of this one. So I'm going to multiply by z over z. Like that, so that I get that common denominator. So this will end up giving me 3z over, or well, here, I'm going to do it this way, over z squared plus x, so that way I can just go ahead and combine the top. And actually, ultimately, that's all I can do because I can't combine this up on top because they don't have the same variable. So that one actually was relatively chill. The next one, 62. I've got m plus 1 over m minus 1 plus, they're flipped, m minus 1 over m plus 1. So I still don't have a common denominator here, and so that means I need to make one. So what do you think I might need to do to get a common denominator on here? Yes. So we're going to multiply this one by m plus 1 over m plus 1. How about this one over here? Yep, m minus 1. So on the bottom, in terms of my common denominator, this actually is quite nice because I have m plus 1 times m minus 1. That's a difference of squares. So that multiplies to give me a denominator of m squared minus 1. On the top, I've got m plus 1 times m plus 1 and then plus m minus 1 times m minus 1. So m plus 1 and m plus 1 is going to be, that's a perfect square trinomial, so that's going to be m squared plus 2m plus 1. Obviously, if you didn't recognize that, you can FOIL like normal, get the same thing. Plus, now if this was a minus sign, you would need to make sure you bracket everything after that off so that you don't lose the signs, but since it's plus, I don't have to do anything special. Over here, I have a perfect square trinomial again, but this time it's with a minus, so that's going to be m squared minus 2m. Remember, the sign of whatever's on there dictates the sign of the middle term, and then plus 1. So now on top, I'm going to have 2m squared. The 2m and the negative 2m cancel, and then I'm left with, let's see, a 1 plus 1, so plus 2 over m squared minus 1. You can leave it there as far as that goes. Some people would factor out a 2 from the top, but it's not going to allow anything to cancel, so you might as well just leave it. So I would just leave it like that. But if you are checking an answer in the back and you don't get exactly that, what they may have done is taken a 2 out and left you with m squared plus 1 on top, like that, over m squared minus 1. But that's as far as you could go. So in terms of factoring the 2 out, it really doesn't make a difference either way. So, but just for notation in case the book, if you're checking your answers. All right, the next ones tend to be a not as favorite situation for everyone because it is simplifying complex fractions, which means I have fractions in fractions. So you got to work common denominators top and bottom, keep, change, flip, start canceling, and just simplify it as much as possible. So not super hard, but just tends to not be everyone's favorite. So we'll start with an easier one and work our way up a little bit. 72 on top, I've got 2 minus 2 over y all over 2 plus 2 over y. So I need to basically look at each piece of this fraction as like a top and bottom to get a common denominator. In this case, it's going to be the same top and bottom, but that won't always happen. So I need to multiply the 2 on top by y over y. I also happen to need to do that on the bottom because this denominator here. So on top, I'm going to end up getting 2y minus 2 over y all over, on the bottom, 2y plus 2 over y. So now notice on top I have one singular fraction, on the bottom I have one singular fraction. So at this point, keep, change, flip, I'm going to have 2y minus 2 over y times, flip this one, so this is going to be y over 2y plus 2. Y's will cancel. Top and bottom, you cannot cancel 2y because they're being added or subtracted, depending on which one you're looking at. So you can't do anything with that. So this is going to give me 2y minus 2 over 2y plus 2. Now, similar to the last one that we had up here where I took out this 2, I can also do that, but now I have the ability to do that top and bottom, so I do want to do that, and that's going to be 2 times y minus 1 on top over 2 times y plus 1 on top. Now that I have factored out the 2, I can cancel stuff out and ultimately be left with y minus 1 over y plus 1. Any questions on that? I know it's kind of a lot that happens in one little problem, but all right, then the next one, gonna get a little harder, but similar style on this one to the one we just did. 76, I've got 2 plus 2 over 1 plus x all over 2 minus 2 over 1 minus x. So notice a couple things are different about this one. It's not just a single variable like by itself on the bottom. Like on the last one we had 2 over y. This one's 2 over 1 plus x. Or on the bottom it's 2 over 1 minus x. So when I'm working for a common denominator, I'm getting a common denominator between those two things and then a different common denominator down here on the bottom. So this top one is going to be multiplied by 1 plus x, and then the bottom one is going to be 1 minus x. that it's being multiplied by. So when I do that, on top, the denominator of the top piece is going to be 1 plus x. Distributing this 2, it gives me 2 plus 2x. And then the plus 2 from over here. All over on the bottom, I've got 1 minus x as my denominator of the bottom fraction. On top, when I distribute, I'm going to get 2 minus 2x, and then the minus from here with that 2, so minus 2. So to rewrite this, combined is going to be 2x plus 4 over 1 plus x on the top, all over on the bottom. The 2 minus 2 is going to cancel, so I have negative 2x over 1 minus x. I'm going to keep, change, flip at this point, which is going to give me 2x plus 4 over 1 plus x times 1 minus x over negative 2x. Now, anything you see that I can cancel? How?
If you multiply the left side by negative 1, and cancel it.
So I can't do that because these are being added. But you kind of have the right idea of what I'm looking for. I'm going to factor out a 2 from the top, and then I can cancel the 2's. So kind of along those lines. I'm going to rewrite this piece without having to rewrite the whole fraction because it just gets to be a lot, as 2 times x plus 2, like that. And so now I can cancel out, because it's now multiplying, I can cancel this 2 and the 2 from in here, which is going to give me x plus 2 times 1 minus x on top over on the bottom. I'm going to have a negative x times 1 plus x. So now I'm not done. I need to FOIL on top, distribute on the bottom. So I get, let's see, this is going to be all out of order. X minus x squared plus 2 minus 2x. So that's just FOILing each piece. X times 1, x times negative x. 2 times 1 and 2 times negative x. That's how I did that. It just looks weird because it's out of order. Over on the bottom, negative x minus x squared. Combine like terms and put stuff in order. I'm going to get negative x squared minus x plus 2 over negative x squared minus x. And that is where you would leave that one. So just make sure you take things always, always, always as far as you can. Obviously, some things can go farther than others. So just make sure, especially that the denominator is combined, to be as simple as possible. But ultimately, we're looking for one single fraction, so make sure you get to that point. Any questions on that one? All right, one more, and then we will be done. $84. This one's a little crazy. I'm going to warn you ahead of time. X plus 4 over x minus 3 over x minus 2 all over x over x minus 2 plus 1 over x. So this one's kind of nice because I noticed that on the top and on the bottom I have the same like denominators that are involved. So when I get that common denominator, That tells me already just by looking at it that when I keep change flip, it's going to be nice and easy. It's going to go away. And so up here with the first one, I'm multiplying by x minus 2, top and bottom, like up that little fraction. Over here, I need to multiply by x, so x over x. And then same thing on the bottom, but reverse order, x over x, and x minus 2 over x minus 2. Now, as far as the denominator goes, since I can see that ultimately everything's going to cancel, you can either leave it as x times x minus 2 or go ahead and multiply it through. I'm just going to multiply it through for the simplicity of how it looks. But I know everything's going to cancel there. So the denominator of the top and of the bottom is going to be x squared minus 2x. So now I'm just working with the numerator of the top and bottom. So up here I've got x minus 2 times x plus 4. So that's going to give me, when I FOIL, x squared plus 4x minus 2x minus 8. And then I don't want to forget this, minus 3 times x. So minus 3x up here. And I'll combine like terms in a minute. On the bottom, it's a little easier. I don't have to FOIL anything. I'm going to have x squared plus x minus 2. Oh, wait. Nope, I lied. Nope, yep, I did that right. Disregard. Plus x minus 2. I thought I had written what was in black. So I've got that. And then I'm going to combine like terms and keep change flip all in one step so I don't have to write it all over again. So this top piece is going to become x squared. Let's see, that would be a 2x minus 3x, so minus x minus 8 over x squared minus 2x times, now I'm going ahead and flipping this bottom one. So it's going to be x squared minus 2x over x squared plus x minus 2. So now I can clearly see x squared minus 2x and x squared minus 2x. I have that top and bottoms being multiplied, so I can cancel the whole thing. And so my final answer that I'm left with is x squared minus x minus 8 over x squared plus x minus 2. Sometimes you can factor those things and something else will cancel, but if you left it there, I would be fine even if something did happen to cancel. So any questions on any of that? I know it's kind of a lot. All right, then your problems are, in addition to what you had on Friday, so I'm going to scroll back up in case you didn't get that. You had 9, 15, 19, 27, 35, and 41 on Friday. And then I'll add to that. I'm adding 57, 69, 71, 75, 81, and 83. So there's like 26 minutes or something left. I think you'll be able to get through most of it today, but